Big Board Sports with Roger Weiland on 104.5 The Team.
It's a Monday morning. We're reacting to a very busy weekend, and every Monday we talk with UAlbany men's basketball coach Will Brown. He actually joins us in studio after the victory last night in the Albany Cup, 81-72 over Siena at a sold-out CEFQ Arena, the event there for the first time in 16 years. UAlbany gets a home game, and it worked to their advantage. They played a great game. Terrific defensive game, certainly, and opened up an 18-point first-half lead. Siena made a run in the second half. UAlbany holds on 81-72. Coach Brown joins us in studio. Good morning, Coach, and congrats.
Good morning. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What'd you bring Zach and I?
Well, I'm disappointed that Junior didn't open up the box of cider donuts that I brought him this morning. I mean, I'm starving. I mean, I bring a dozen cider donuts in, and Zach can't figure out how to open the box. Come on, Raj.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, no problem.
I should have had those for my son Brady last night.
That was good, Zach. I like that.
I should have had those cider donuts for my son Brady last night.
I am disappointed you guys didn't wear purple last night.
Yeah, no. I was wearing anything but
to stay.
He had blue.
Oh, that was clear. That was clear.
He had blue. I had Stony Brook colors on.
Oh, even better. Even better.
I was going red. But the thing is, like, I have a lot of purple ties. Like, I have a lot of them. So I'm like, what tie is not? All right, there's a red one. Give me that one. I'm wearing that one tonight. But no, we thought we had a very fair broadcast last night on Time Warner, and you must have been through. I mean, your team played, I thought, in the first half, Will, seriously about as well as you could play on both ends of the court, and especially defensively, you were just locked in.
Yeah, I thought they really did a good job embracing the game plan. There was a certain way we needed to play to be successful. We hammered them over the head with the keys, what we felt would allow us to have a chance to be successful against a very talented Siena team. I think, I tried to explain to these guys at halftime, it's a 0-0 game. Siena's too good not to make a run, too talented. And I thought we had about a 7 or 8 minute stretch in the second half where we stopped defending, and I thought that got us in trouble. We're not good enough to exchange baskets with a team like Siena. I think most teams, there's one or two guys that don't score the ball in a starting lineup. Siena's unique because with the 4 seniors and Clareth, they have 5 guys. They can score from all 5 positions. So we didn't want to exchange baskets with them. We weren't going to win that way. Then I thought we settled down late and got a few stops and then missed some free throws. So, but I'm proud of our guys for really trying to embrace the game plan and really just weathering that storm. Basketball's a game of runs, and Siena made a run. But our guys really did a nice job. I'm proud of them.
What did you think of the atmosphere at CEFQ Arena last night?
I thought it was tremendous. I was not surprised, one bit. I think our fans are tremendous. They deserve this game. I don't know. I'm assuming everything went smoothly. I'm consumed by the game, and from what I gather, everything went well. I thought our athletic department did a really nice job. Another thank you to Mark Benson for helping make this happen. And it's a game that needs to be played in the CEFQ Arena every other year. Nobody's more adamant about that than me. And hopefully it continues. We play on their court next year, but right now, that game last night is not going to determine how Siena does in the MAC. It's not going to determine how we do in the America East. But, in all the years we've played this game, I thought that this was the game that we had to win. And I don't say that to my team, obviously, but that was my feeling going in. I had 2 thoughts. One was, hey, you've pleaded to get this game in the arena for so long.
Now you got to win it.
We got to win it.
Yeah.
And then 2, if we really buckled down and executed the game plan to a T, we would win the game or put ourselves in a position to win it, down the stretch. And, both of those things happened, which was nice to see.
I thought your coaching, and I've said this, on the air, off the air, so I'm not trying to stroke you here, but I thought your coaching particularly in the first half, was masterful. You came out. You typically haven't played zone this year. I don't even know if you've played maybe for a couple possessions, but
is that what we were playing last night?
Well, it
looked like it.
It looked like you were baiting Siena to take threes in the first half. We knew their advantage. They have 2 first-team all-conference forwards, and to try to neutralize that, pack it in a little bit, and give up the 3. And it felt like Siena took the bait a little bit. They took 15 in the first 18 minutes. They only made 3. Was that the game plan coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked to our guys about a few things. The most important thing, it doesn't matter what you do defensively. If you can't set your defense, your plan it's pointless. So we had to eliminate their transition opportunities, and our goal was to make this a 5-on-5 game, offensively and defensively. So we wanted to make Siena run their offense in the half court and play 5-on-5. And, the thing that worried me is I knew we'd be able to guard all of their sets, but they're so talented, I thought it was going to come down to them making one-on-one plays. And, we needed to give ourselves a cushion. We wanted to force them to be a jump shooting team. Now, with that being said, Zach, the issue is there's such a good rebounding team on the offensive glass that you had to finish possessions. But clearly, we wanted them to shoot a lot of jump shots. Rebounding was the next key. Foul trouble. We had to stay out of foul trouble. We're going with, we didn't know if Dallas was going to be able to go last night, and if he was going to be able to go, how long he'd be able to go for. So we had 7 guys at best that we were going to play, and Dallas was one of them. So we needed to stay out of foul trouble. And then the last thing is we had to get a shot every possession, had to value the basketball. I think we were 15 assists, 6 turnovers, which I think is tremendous. Tempo was huge. And when I say tempo, a lot of people, Brown's going to hold the ball. It's not about that. We felt if we got 2 ball reversals, we'd get great shots, and 2 ball reversals would also allow us to give them a chance to foul us, because I thought we can frustrate them by forcing them to defend, for 15 or 20 seconds. And then the zones act that you talked about, and, I think we confused our guys a little bit with what we were doing. We had several possessions where we were playing matchup zone. We also sprinkled in some triangle and 2 and some box and 1 out of that matchup. And I think what happened in that 7 or 8 minute span in the second half, I think our guys got a little bit fatigued. We didn't talk as much, so we had a couple of guys in straight matchup. We had 1 or 2 guys in the triangle, or we had 1 or 2 guys in our diamond. We had some wasted possessions defensively, and I think that caught us. And the other thing is Clareth hit some ridiculous shots. We knew
for a second year in a row.
Yeah, we knew he was going to. And
that's the rhythm he gets in, too.
And I'm a percentage guy. Last year coming into our game, he had missed his last 18 threes, and he hit some tough ones. Last night, we know he's going to take a lot of shots, and we just didn't want to allow him to get in that rhythm, and he got in that rhythm for about 5 or, a 6 minute span. What I'm proud of, though, is he's very animated when he plays and likes to talk, and so we talked to Joe about just smile. School pictures back in grade school. Just smile. Don't let any of it get to you. Just play. Let the scoreboard talk for you. And I thought Joe in particular did a really good job with that, as did our entire team. Like I told the referees, my guys aren't going to say a word to you, but you're going to listen to me all game. And I tell our guys that we have, you guys are around our program. I mean, we have awesome kids, not good kids, awesome kids that are going to work hard, do things the right way, and they want to win. And I sleep well at night. I love coaching these guys, and I'm proud of them for their effort last night because of the way they work and they go about their business on and off the court. And, so I'm a proud coach, but we have a lot of work to do. We've got to continue to get better.
We're tying with Will Brown, as we always do on the Monday show here on Big Board Sports, the coaching segment with Will Brown. We're reacting to the Albany Cup and the UA victory. Whether you're a Siena fan, UAlbany fan, if you like to react to it, we'll open up some lines here, 476-1045. And the other thing, Coach, last night is that in the foul shooting department. You won this game, and it wasn't your best night at the foul line.
No, which was surprising. I mean, we missed double-digit free throws. Yeah. I think that really could have put the game away late a little sooner. But you know what? We had the right guys at the line. Guys that shoot them at a high level. You know, Marquise Grayson's a very good free throw shooter. Joe Cremo's a very good free throw shooter. So is David Nichols. We just happened to miss a couple.
Did you know that Cremo was shooting foul shots at about 11:15 in the gym, probably while you were in your office watching film?
Yeah, I got a text message. I knew Marquise was there. After the press conference, I went into the arena and I said, "Marquise, go home." He's like, "Coach, I missed 2 big free throws." I'm like, "You're going to make the next 2. Go home. You strained your calf tonight. The trainer wants you off your feet. Go home." And then, I just put out a little tweet. If anybody's near the arena, grab Joe Cremo, get him out. I'm going to have a SEFQ curfew. I mean.
But Will,
trust me, I love it. I love the fact that those guys are in the gym, but Joe just played, 48 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10
go home.
Later, it was later than that. It was almost 11:30.
Go have chocolate milk and some Oreos. Go home. Relax.
What I wanted to ask you is, years ago, when Joe was a freshman or sophomore, I forget when I was describing this kid to you, has he not fulfilled that when I said, hey, this kid, he's a true one of a kind, and isn't that the case? He's
out of his mind. He's a coach's dream. When you're a coach and you tell kids, get in the gym, we need to move Joe out of his apartment and just put an extension on the SEFQ, because he spends all of his time in the SEFQ. Guys like Joe and David Nichols and those guys, all the success that they have, they deserve. Nobody puts more time into those guys, whether it's 6 a.m. before lift, whether it's before practice, after practice. If you're good to the game's going to be good to you. And those guys are really good to the game, so the game's being good to them. David Nichols signed with Ranger Junior College at a high school. And, he wasn't a 3-star, a 4-star, or a 5-star recruit. People get caught up in that stuff. It's all about fit. Joe Cremo committed to us in the beginning of his junior year. Would he have had higher level offers if he played AAU? Absolutely. But he didn't. He wanted a good opportunity. He wanted his family to follow his career, and he's here at Albany. He's doing wonderful things. You guys know me. I don't care about 0-star, 1-star, 3-star, 4 stars. I care about the character, the value in an education, and I want a good player, of course. But I think I probably go to the extremes with the character piece and the education piece, and it's just worked for us. It's just our philosophy. But I wouldn't trade guys like Joe and David in for anybody. They're just awesome.
And the good news, if you are a UAlbany fan, those guys are sophomores, so they're back for
and we have to continue with the way those guys work. We've got to provide them with more pieces around them moving forward, and we will do that.
Let's go to some calls here. We have open phone lines for Coach Will Brown, and Brian is on line 1 from Clifton Park. Good morning, Brian. Welcome to Big Board Sports. You're on with Coach Brown.
Thanks, Roger. Coach, first of all, congratulations. I thought you did a great job with your game plan, and the kids did a great job of kind of executing. I guess my question is, the officiating seemed rather tight, and I wondered how that, I don't expect you to talk too much about that, but how does that affect the coaching aspect? I know you'd mentioned the frustration and trying to get Siena to guard for 25 seconds per clock and be frustrated, but does that change the way you coach the game, or how does that affect that for you?
Well, first off, Brian, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that, and thanks for calling in. I'll be honest with you. My staff came in about 10 minutes before the game and said, "Hey, the referees said that the NCAA representative is there, so they're going to call everything to a T tonight." And I was concerned. We had a great crew. Those guys are all highly respected officials, but they're also being evaluated very closely last night. We were only going into the game with the mindset that we were going to play 7 guys. We had 3 guys in street clothes last night that weren't available. So we were going to play 7, and that worried me against, especially against Siena's front line. If we got in foul trouble, we were really going to struggle. So I was concerned. I thought calling it closely, in all honesty, was going to favor Siena heavily. And, so I thought our guys did a pretty good job overall at adjusting to how the game was being called, moving our feet more, using our hands less, and not turning this into a wrestling match. So I thought our guys adjusted nicely, but it was a big concern of mine once I realized that the NCAA officials rep was in the crowd.
Brian, thanks for the call from Clifton Park, 476-1045, reacting to the Albany Cup game from last night, won by UA. Will Brown in studio. Jay from Green Island, you're up next. Good morning, Jay.
Morning. How are you?
Great.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
I was there last night, and I was just wondering, beginning of the game, the transition points that you got early, did you expect, them to get that easy? And how big of that was to your run in the beginning of the game? I think it was like 20 fast break points in the first half. I think 14 of them were transition. This didn't seem like Siena, they were shooting the threes, long misses, long rebounds, and you guys seemed to really get out on that fast break, those transition points early on.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We wanted to control tempo, but if we had opportunities, we wanted to take them. We played some matchup zone, so our perimeter guys were up top, and our goal was to make them a jump shooting team. And when you force teams to shoot jump shots, as you mentioned, there's opportunities for long rebounds. So I thought that if we took advantage of securing those long rebounds, we might get some 3-on-2 and 2-on-1 opportunities at the other end. And as long as we were attacking the rim in those situations, I was fine with it. And we got them to shoot those jump shots. They missed, and we took advantage of the opportunities when they presented themselves.
And I got a question coming in on Twitter for you, Coach. It says, Michael Johnson Jr. says, how do you feel about going forward after this big win, and are you legitimate contenders in March?
Yeah, Michael, I don't know if we're legitimate contenders in March. This is going to sound like coach talk. We're trying to get better every day. We've got to get more consistent defensively right now. We need to get Jerron Lands back in uniform. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. He's our most talented big guy. We're a work in progress right now. Guys are starting to understand and embrace scouting reports and preparation. We play an NCAA team on Wednesday, Holy Cross, 5 starters back from last year's NCAA team. Then we're at Yale on Saturday, NCAA tournament team last year, who's already gone on the road to beat Washington, Pac-12. So we just got to worry about getting better today as we start to prep for Holy Cross.
All right, thank you for the Twitter questions. We got more calls coming in for Coach Brown. Let's go to John in Guilderland on line 1. Good morning, John. Welcome to Big Board Sports. You're on with Coach Will Brown.
Good morning, and I love your show. You guys always do a great job. And, Coach, I got to say something. Your teams always come out prepared to play. I watched a lot of your games. I go to the arena. It just seems no matter who you play, your kids come out ready to play, as they did last night. I think Siena has much more talent, and that game was just the kids just buying in your system. But my biggest point is the gentleman that you brought in, the big guy, I think his last name's Charles, who didn't play last year. Yeah. I thought he played fabulous last night, and I've never seen him score like that. I'll let you go at that, but I thought he really made a big difference for you guys.
Well, I appreciate your comments. Thank you, very much. We try to pride ourselves in our toughness and our execution, and I've got great kids that just want to win, and we try to play the right way, and we try to play as a team. As far as Travis Charles, I said it last year before he went out with the heart ailment. He was our best offensive big. That's what he does. He scores the basketball. He was just a little bit behind defensively offensively, and then we lost him for the season. Now this year, Steyer and Rowley are just so good defensively and on the glass for us. Travis right now is good offensively. I'm not surprised with what he did last night. Our expectations are high for him, and I think when we get Jerron Lands back in a couple of weeks, who's 6'6", 260, he's our most versatile big. So I think our front court will be a strength of ours moving forward. But I'm happy for Travis, especially with what he dealt with last year.
John, thank you. 476-1045, 476-1045, reacting to the big story locally of the weekend and the hype and the build-up to the Albany Cup. And our Twitter is open as well, 1045 The Team, at Buysline, at Roger Weil. And the other thing I had circled on the final box was the turnovers. You only turned the ball over last night 6 times, and going back to Sunday when we called your game against Brown at Mohegan Sun, you might have been in the 16 category turnover. Only turned it over 6 times last night.
You know what's crazy, Raj? We saw all this pressure at Penn State, and we had no issues. Then we ran into a buzzsaw at Cincinnati. Their press was unique. They were so long. They were so athletic. You're going to have some turnovers. But outside of that, Grand Canyon and Brown, they were lackadaisical, careless, unforced turnovers. And I think that's what, concerned me more than anything. And I thought we would see some pressure from Siena last night, and we did. But we took a deep breath, and we were more aggressive against it. We handled it calmly. We played with poise, and that's what we need to do moving forward. At the Division I level, there's too much talent. Teams are good. We don't need to help our opponent. We need to help ourselves as much as possible.
Well, with so much, and we've been talking just strictly hoops, but with so much hype coming into this game, and the war words back and forth, that had to felt extra special. I mean, right? Like after the win, that there was something else in there for you, no?
There's no doubt. I mean, when you have a feeling that you're being slighted or disrespected, or you're looked at as second-class citizens, that bothers you. I'm a prideful person. Kids in my program, they're prideful kids, and we've worked really hard to build this program and establish ourselves as a good, consistent program. And I'm going to defend, our kids, our program, and our athletic department. And, but I think, I have a lot of respect for Siena. I love the fact that they're passionate about hoops. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's awesome.
Passionate fan base. Jimmy's a really good guy. He got me upset. If it was meant to be intentional, if it was strategic, that's fine. You got to do what you got to do. But I really like him. I love the fact that they want to win, and they have won. They've got really good talent in their program right now. I'd be surprised if they don't make a run at the MAC. But deep down, I wasn't sure if we had enough to win last night, even if we executed the game plan to a T. And that's more a respect to Siena's talent. Yeah. I do think that all 5 of those guys, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, are all MAC caliber guys.
Totally.
Bisping, Ogiemi, Long, Clareth, and Wright. It would not surprise me if all 5 of them are on the All-MAC, one of those 3 teams. So there's tremendous amount of respect there. And deep down, I thought we had to win this game. I politicked for years.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. I've been politicking for a long time.
But I didn't want my kids to feel that, though.
Right.
But I did tell these guys, I was hard on them 2 days before the game. I got into them pretty good. I just didn't like what we were doing in practice. And I said, you know what, guys? I said, you understand how talented these guys are, individually? Do you understand that they're good enough individually to dissect us, one-on-one? That's how good they are. But I said, darn it, just listen to me. Do what I'm asking you to do, and we're going to win this darn game. And I'm going to give my guy, Donnie Bassett, some credit here. This was awesome. Yesterday at shoot-around, when you go to the doctor and they have those wooden, tongue compressors that they put in?
Say,
So Donnie had 5 of them individually. Right? And he said, guys, Nico Clareth, he had one of them. He snapped it. Marquise Wright, he snapped another one. Ogiemi snapped another one. He did their 5 best players, and he snapped them. Then he put 5 of them together, And he said, Dallas, try to break these. Dallas couldn't break them. He goes, that's a team. That's what we are. That's why we're going to win.
That is awesome. and that stuff gets me so fired up. I got
fired up. You had to see our guys. Because Donnie said to me, you want to do it? I said, I'm not going to do it with the flair that you're going to do it with. So each one snapped. Our guys had no idea what was going on.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, if Dallas would have broke those 5, we would have been. But Dallas is like, Coach, I can't break them. And he goes, that's us. That's why we're going to win this game.
Wow. And you know what? And to over to Jimmy, I was talking to somebody very much in the know with Siena before the game, former player, not for Jimmy, but way back. And he said, look, this Siena team is as talented a team as they've had. They've got so many good athletes. What they need to figure out is to not be individual players here and not worry about, I need to get my 15, I need to get my 20. And I'm sure Jimmy knows this.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got to figure out as he moves forward into the MAC play that he gets rid of some of that individual play and become more of a team because they are capable of winning a lot of basketball games.
Jimmy will figure it out. He's been doing this for a while. He was a part of a national championship team at Maryland. He's a smart guy. He's got good players. He's a heck of a recruiter. Does a good job coaching them. I'd be shocked if they're not playing whomever in the TU Center in the MAC championship game. He's got good problems.
Yeah, he's got good problems.
He's got really good players, and like I said, I'm just proud of our guys, and I hope they win every game moving forward. I'm going to be rooting for them, and but we got to worry about us now moving forward.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the donuts, and thanks for the time here in studio this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Well, of course, we are the home of UAlbany men's basketball all season long here on 104.5. The team.